Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Chief Justice. Boy, it is such an honor and a privilege to be here today to stand before you. I'm so excited about what we're going to do together over the next year for the Alabama State Bar. But first, let me address the elephant in the room. There's been a lot of buzz about this week, and the elephant is, how long am I going to speak? Because what you and I know is the only real thing standing between this moment in time and a reception is how long I speak. So I'll tell you, I'm going to speak for 1 hour and 20 minutes, less than our speaker did the other day. Before I get started, I want to say thank you to several people that have helped me. Taz Shepard, man, I wish he was here. I love that guy. I mean, what Brandon said and what Bob said, he never complained. Most people would have just melted in. Not Taz. He had 41 initiatives, as Terry will tell you, and he got every one of them done. If he was here, I would hand him this book, because this book reminds me of Taz. It's called Profiles in Courage. I wish I could add a chapter about him, but I can't do that. But we got every member or every employee at the Alabama State Bar to sign their name to tell Taz that we love him. I want to thank my family. You saw them up here a second ago. My beautiful wife, Kate. God bless her. She has told me she's going to give me one more year of standing by my side as I volunteer for things. I couldn't do it without her. And trust me when I tell you that the bar is getting a great first lady. I listen to everything she says. I don't make a decision without her. She picked out this tie today. Every morning as I'm leaving to go to work, I tell Kate two things. I love you, and if you ever leave me, I'm going with you. My two boys, Carter and Andrew, I'm so proud of them. Andrew is a graduate student at Troy. He's a graduate worker at Troy, and he'll soon be starting on his doctorate. Carter graduated from the University of Alabama, got into law school, decided to go on a different path. He works for one of, I guess, our biggest sponsors, Site Court Reporting, and I'm proud of the job he's doing. But these boys at a very young age felt that it was their constitutional duty, perhaps a mandate, to give me a hard time, to make sure I stay humble. I could tell you a lot of stories, but this is my favorite. About 10 years ago, Carter was 16. He was prepping for the ACT. I came home from a business trip a little bit early, walked in his room, and instead of studying for the ACT, he was playing a computer game. Well, being the lawyer that I am, I said, you know what? This could be a very teachable moment. I said, Carter, do you realize that when Barack Obama was your age, 16, he woke up every morning at 4 o'clock and he studied 4 hours before he even went to school? Pretty proud of myself. Till I saw a little smile on Carter's face, and he said, Dad, that's a great story. Do you realize that when Barack Obama was your age, he was president of the United States? I want to thank my law firm, Beasley Allen. My mentor is Jerry Beasley. I find myself trying to emulate him more and more every day, not just as a lawyer, but as a person. To two of my closest friends, Tom Methan and Cole Portis, sitting on the front row with my family, both past bar presidents, I've learned from Tom to pick one initiative and focus on an initiative that can help as many people as possible. And that's what we're going to do. And I've learned from Cole two things: to approach every task with a servant's heart and to listen. Cole is the best listener in the country. He does a great job at it, and we're going to do that this year also. My good friend Terry Lovell. I've known Terry 25 years. I was at her wedding 21 years ago. And folks, let me tell you this, and you heard Bob allude to it. About a year and a half ago, your bar was at a crossroads. We had to hire a new executive director. There was no margin for error. We could not get it wrong. We had fantastic applicants from all over the country, but one person rose above, because this person had credibility with all the lawyers, with all the judges, with the Supreme Court. She had the enthusiasm, the spirit that we needed, Terry has done a fantastic job. She has assembled a staff that's second to none, and our future is so bright because we have her at our helm. Our general counsel, Roman Shaw. Roman is one of my best friends, and he likes lawyers, which is a great personality trait to have if you're in charge of disciplining lawyers. You can't replace a Tony McLean, but I think we're coming pretty close with Roman. He does frustrate me from time to time. We play golf back home in Montgomery on Sunday afternoons, and invariably during the round, he'll get 2 or 3 phone calls from lawyers that had too much fun on Saturday night. He takes every call. He handles it with grace and mercy. And Roman, you're doing a great job. Thank you. Our bar commissioners were asked to stand a little while ago, and I whispered to the Chief Justice, I said, that's who I work for. Those are my bosses. Folks, do you realize that each bar commissioner has to run for election? It's not an appointment. They have to offer themselves up for election. And if they win, they get to give days and days out of the year in voluntary service. It's a great group. I look so forward to working with them. We're going to get a lot done. So let me say this. This year is not about me. It's not Gibson's year. I really don't like it when people refer to it as his year or her year. This is my year where I have the opportunity to provide the best service possible to the Alabama State Bar. I know many of you, but for those I don't, I want to take 1 minute to tell you about my background, where I came from. My mother was a single mom. She raised 3 children. We qualified for free school lunches and food stamps. I got my first job when I was 12 because I had to have the white Nike shoe with the red swoosh on it, the one Forrest Gump wore. I went to college at Troy University. I went there on student loans, work study, and Pell Grants. I went to Jones School of Law at night. I worked full-time during the day. My first 8 years as a lawyer was with a 2-person firm. My first case was a dog bite case. My second case was a slip and fall. I tell you this for a reason. I have a heart for the underdog. I care deeply about the members of the bar that are struggling. Some say, due to my early years, that I still have a chip on my shoulder. They would be wrong. I have a chip on both shoulders. That keeps me very well balanced. As I said, I'm excited about what we're going to do next year. I want to put the spotlight on 2 things. The first thing is we're going to ask ourselves, how can the Bar Association best communicate its message to its members? Well, first, let me say this. I think we have the best communication department that we ever have. You get an email almost every day telling you exactly in real time what's going on with the bar. The Alabama Lawyer is a fantastic publication. It comes out every 2 months. We give you legislative updates throughout the year. The general counsel staff spoke to about 100 live events over the last year, but we can do more. And I realized this about 3 months ago. I was on social media, and I saw a post by a lawyer that I like and that I respect, and she was upset. And she ultimately asked this rhetorical question, does anybody know what the bar does for you other than take your dues and try to take your license? Well, at first, it kind of upset me because we know we do so much more. But then I realized maybe we can do more with our communications. And what we're going to do is this. We're going to take the message of the bar to the bar members. We're going to go to every circuit, all 41. Roman, Terry, we're going to load up in a car, and we're going to go see everybody. And when we go see everybody, we have 2 goals for the meetings. The first is we want to make absolutely sure that they know what the bar does for them. By example, we want them to know that every member of the bar is entitled to 12 free CLE credits. Video, you can watch it for free, on demand, anytime you want to see it. We want them to know that we have the best practice management software of any bar in the country. We want them to know that they can avoid getting in trouble by calling the general counsel's office and get a free advisory opinion. And we've got more discounts than you can imagine. Marriott, Disney World, Brooks Brothers, rental cars, whatever you need. We want to make sure our members know what we offer. The second goal is probably the most important. We're going to listen. We want to hear from our bar members. As we travel the state, we want to hear what their concerns are. We want to hear what they worry about. We want to know how the bar can better serve them in the future. So stay tuned. We're coming to see you. The main thing we're going to focus on this year, which I think can help the most people possible, is to put lawyer wellness in the forefront. We want to make sure our attorneys have the resources, the tools, the information they need to get help when they need help. I believe we have, as a bar, have a moral obligation to do this for our fellow members. This moral obligation cannot be found in a code or in a statute, but in the common bonds that bind us as attorneys. For years, your bar association has addressed these wellness issues through great programs such as the Alabama Lawyer Assistance Program. There can be no doubt that this program has saved the lives of many attorneys and have helped attorneys when they were in their darkest moments. But we can and we must do more to help our brothers and sisters of the bar. That starts today. To do that, I'm launching a new initiative. We will offer every member of the Alabama State Bar for free 5 hours of counseling services from a licensed counselor in the state of Alabama. Thank you. Whether a lawyer is facing mental health issues, substance abuse, alcohol addiction, or experiencing suicidal thoughts, we're going to get them the help that they need. We're naming our initiative Drive for 5. Not only are we going to talk about those 5 free hours of counseling as we drive across the state, but we hope to also drive home the message that to be a good lawyer, one must be a healthy lawyer. Why is this initiative so important to me? Because our bar faces historic challenges related to attorney well-being. Folks, the statistics are not fun to hear, but we cannot ignore them. I bet everybody in this room knows a lawyer or knows a judge that is struggling and fits in one of the statistics that I'm about to cite. Suicide is the 3rd leading cause of death among attorneys. Imagine that. 36% of attorneys consume alcohol at levels consistent with problematic drinking. That is compared to 12% of other professions. 36% of lawyers suffer with substance abuse, compared to only 10% of other professions. 28% struggle with some level of depression, 19% with anxiety, and get this, folks, 40% of law students report severe depression upon graduation. They hadn't even started practicing law. 40%. Scary. Younger attorneys have the highest incidence of these problems in their first 10 years of practice. I suggest to you that these numbers are incompatible with a sustainable professional culture. Too many individuals are struggling, and the impact is too great for us to ignore. What makes this even worse is that lawyers don't seek help for mental health issues because of what? They fear somebody will find out. They worry it will discredit them and possibly affect their license. The lack of awareness for resources is also a barrier in getting the help they need. The bottom line is this: the 5 free counseling sessions are done completely anonymously. The bar will not know the identity of those utilizing the services. The cost to our members is absolutely free. There are no financial obstacles to getting help. There should be no fear of being stigmatized for getting help. I'm passionate about the work ahead of us next year. Together, we can accomplish these goals and truly make a difference. The work we do matters. The message we deliver matters. The contribution we can make matters. I want to close with a quote that many of you may have heard before, but it's a quote that speaks to me when I think about our mission as bar leaders. Mother Teresa's words are just as true today as when she first spoke them. People are often unreasonable and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you're kind, people may accuse you of ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you're honest, people may try to cheat you. Be honest anyway. If you are happy, people may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today may be forgotten tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give your best anyway. For you see, in the end, it is between you and God. It never was between you and them anyway. I want to thank you again for everything that you've done for the Alabama State Bar. Everyone in this room has made a significant contribution. I'm looking forward to serving you and the over 19,000 members